I felt the warmth of her lips as they touched mine. Then I felt nothing but the cool night air. When I opened my eyes, I was alone. Was? Granddaughter. Ew! My granddaughter's interruption stopped my telling of the story. You kissed someone who wasn't grandma. You married someone who wasn't grandma. Well, that was before I met your grandmother. In fact, that's how I first met your grandmother. She was working as an intern at the library. And after that, I never saw Mary again. She seems unconvinced. Was that really a true story? You have my word. She thinks about this for a few seconds before replying, I don't believe you. Tell me another story. Not tonight. It's after bedtime. But... No buts. No... no buts. Geil, Ersche. Geil. No buts. Geil. Now it's time to go to get to sleep. I turned off the light so that she could finally go to bed. If I didn't, then my granddaughter would stay up all night and never go to sleep. My granddaughter Mary, whose name I accessed to my son-in-law while we were waiting in the hospital. My granddaughter, named for the girl I was married for a few moments on the moonlit beach long ago. Ending 3. Married for moments. Moonlight Walks, version 2.0. Created by Tom. Art by Mugen powered by the RAMP visual novel engine. Thanks to the posters and the Lemma softphones for the support and encouragement. Thank you for playing. Copyright 2005-2009, Tom, American Bishoujo. Ich weiß nicht, wie es ausgesprochen wird. So gut kann ich Japanisch auch wieder nicht. Schön. Damit ist das wohl auch fertig. Schön. Ja, dann würde ich mal sagen, ist das vorbei. Ich werde nicht jeden Visual Novel mehrmals durchspielen, weil eventuell könnte ich es da machen, indem ich nämlich 7 Messages. So. Nämlich bis zu den after shows is stop skipping. I knew that I wanted to take a picture. I thought it would be a failure as a photographer if I let such a beautiful sight go without capturing it, so I redirected my camera to take a picture. I didn't let her know I was there. It's best to take pictures of unaware people, because if they know you're taking the picture, they tend to pose unnaturally. I set the camera to auto, framed in the picture and pressed the shutter release button. The camera beeped softly as it captured the picture. I repeated this a dozen times. I find that it helps to take many pictures in the hopes that 1 or 2 of them will come out perfectly. When I was done taking the pictures, I loaded my camera and waved to her. After a few seconds, she finally noticed me and waved back. But she was still far enough away that if I had tried to talk to her, my voice would have been lost over the crash of the waves. I put my camera back to its case, picked up the tripod, and started heading back to my aunt and uncle's house. When I got back, I hooked the camera up to my computer and started downloading the pictures I took that night. The series of photographs of the moon came out well, but they weren't really what I was interested in. I quickly skipped through them, looking for the pictures I took of the girl. But when I finally go to the pictures I took of her, there was something strange about them. She wasn't there. I'm always certain that I had framed the pictures right, but all I saw in them was the sandy beach behind where she was standing. There were a dozen pictures like this. Each of them had the background of the shot I had framed, but the subject was nowhere to be seen. I must have spent an hour slowly cycling through the pictures I took of the girl, hoping in vain that she would show up in at least of one of them. But she was never there. The combination of her mysterious beauty and the strangeness of those pictures implanted her image on my mind. Even today, years later, I can close my eyes, think back as I saw her through my lens that day. I was stargazing at the beach several times over the summer, hoping that I would be able to see her again. But I never did. Ending 1. Nothing to say. Ah, okay. Oh, jetzt haben wir sogar ein anderes, ja, okay. Links to the posters. Okay. Hat sich durch das extra Menü ist irgendwas freigeschaltet. Gallery. Also sind auf jeden Fall schon mal 4 Dinger. Okay. Das sind jetzt die alle Hintergründe. Da kann ich theoretisch eigentlich mal eben warte mal, wir haben den Snipping Tool. Yep. Das muss ich mir nämlich mal eben für einen Hintergrund mal eben speichern. Eben kurz weg. Man muss ja nicht immer mein Desktop sehen, ne? Ey, hallo. Scheiß Ding. Könntest du mal aufhören? Gibt's da nicht. Das gibt's doch nicht hier. Desktop. So. Umbenannt einfach. Was soll's? Das bringe ich dann nach der Aufnahme um. So. Return, was ist contributed art? In September 2008, when I was clear that this remake would soon be done, we put out a call for art out on the Elamosoft forums. Within a few hours, DJ gave us the following. Ach so, okay. Our next one contribution is from Doomfest. Ja, sieht nicht schlecht aus. Our final contribution is from Nugen Yonchel. And while an image from the official artist might technically be off topic, it makes us law enough to include it here. Was? Ach, dass sich das Ding gefallen ist? Geil. I'd like to thank everyone who posted their art. Okay. Return. Na gut, dann will ich sagen, Preference ist noch als eingestellt. Ja, Start Game. Preference Start Skipping. Begin Stick Skipping. Talk to here. Begin Skipping. I decided to show here the moon. I was really into astronomy when I was young. I could look up at the moon and name all of the stars. Really? Well, I can't do it anymore, but I still remember where one of the seas is. I point up to the moon and she turns to take a look at it. Take a look at the right side of the moon. If you look, you can see what looks like a boy with a head, body and 2 legs. Do you see it? Das hat ja ein bisschen was von To the Moon, ne? Mit dem Hasen. I see it. She seemed excited by this, as if she had never looked at the moon like this before. Maybe she hadn't. People look at the moon in different ways. Some people see a man, others a boy and a girl, others a rabbit. Ist das eine Anspielung an To the Moon? Geile Scheiße. Eine Anspielung an To the Moon. Cool. Ach geil, das ist wirklich geiles Lernspielung. Well, if you look at his body, then that's the sea of tranquility where Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin walked. Aha. Buzz? That sound? Well, his real name was Edwin, but everyone called him Buzz. I don't know why. She didn't say anything for a few seconds as she took this in. So, there are people walking around on the moon. Not anymore. We sent the last people in the 70s and nobody had been back there since. So we sent them? Yes, every man on the moon was an American. She smiled at this, as she had just found out and taken great satisfaction in this fact. I thought it was odd, for she hadn't heard of the moon landings. I had thought everyone learned about them when they were young. Still, it gave me a sense of satisfaction to be the person that told her about them. I decided that I would change the topic so something I was sure that she could talk about. Did you grow up here around here? I did. Okay. Das scheint wieder Sachen zu sein, die wir schon kennen. Ask her about her parents. What can you tell me about your parents? Papa and Mama both came across the ocean as settlers when they were just children. Papa fought in the war, and when it was over, he married Mama, and they used his pension to move here from the mainland and to build us a house. Together they farmed a land, and eventually they had children. I had an older sister and a younger sister. I was the middle child. She paused for a second to collect her force before to continue. This part was taking a strain on her. When I was 10, an epidemic hit the island. We came down with it, and so did all of the other families. My family was too sick to move, but our neighbors, the Millers, sent some of the boys to get help from the mainland. I remember thinking that Miller was the last name of my aunt and uncle and wondering if they could be related to me. I don't know what happened to them, but I never heard from them again. It lasted a week and then it was over. My sisters, my parents, they all... Now I'm the only one left. I'm sorry. I didn't know what else to say to a girl that had lost her family and was obviously broke up about it. She nodded in response, wiped her tears, and we once again started walking in silence. I don't know. Okay. References. Been skipping. What is her name? I realized that throughout the entire night I had never asked her what her name was. A bad habit of mine is that I can have full conversations without knowing someone's name. So I asked her, almost shouting the question to her. She stopped walking, turned back to me and smiled. It's Mary. Mary Harper. The moment the sun cleared the horizon, its brilliance blinded me and I flexibly closed my eyes. I've seen the sunrise many times, before and since, but I never seen it as bright as it was this time. When I opened my eyes again, the girl was gone. I didn't know why she went, how she had left so quickly, or where she had gone off to. The one thing I did know was that I wanted to meet her again. Having found out her name, I proceeded to look up her on the web. Of course, the name Mary Harper gave me thousands of hits. But after I narrowed it down to the local area, I got nothing at all. According to an online phone book, no one named Harper lived on the island. After getting some sleep, I went to the library to try and find out more about her. Knowing she said that she was from around here, I took out a book on the history of North Sand Island. I figured that a family being wiped out by this DC would be worth recording. The only thing I found was, and I looked up Harper in the book, was the story of a Harper family that lived on the island in the 1780s. They were wiped out by an epidemic that killed almost everyone on the island in 1719. Only a few boys escaped to tell the tale. If it left the island empty, and it wasn't until after the Civil War that people settled here again. It's eerie how similar their situation was to what happened to Mary. A father, mother and 3 daughters, all wiped out by the sea. Jetzt muss noch kurz was trinken. Jetzt nehme ich doch wieder den ganzen Novel auf. Ja, naja, was soll's, haben wir mindestens Videos, ne? Ich meine, ist ja auch relativ gut geschrieben, von daher. Ja. So. So. Along with everyone else on the island. But of course, it had to be a coincidence, since it happened over 2 centuries ago. I couldn't find anything newer than that, and eventually gave up. That night, I went out to the beach where I first saw her, hoping to meet her again. I spent the entire night there, but she didn't show up. I tried again the next night, and the night after that, every night for 2 weeks. But after that first night, I never saw her again. And I never forgot her either. Ending 2. History. Ah, okay. Also das beste Ending ist halt Marriage for the Moment, denke ich mir mal. Habe ich jetzt alles freigeschaltet oder was? Nein, das wollte ich nicht. Bla 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 bla. Bla bla. Art Gallery. Ich finde immer noch 3. Was? Was fehlt mir denn da bitte? Das ist Importing Images. Aha. Ach, schau mal an, da ist es auch mal drauf, oder was? Sehr seltsam. Aber hier fehlen 3 Stück. Na, egal. Ich würde sagen, wir haben jetzt wahrscheinlich alle 3 Endings. Keine Ahnung, ob es dann noch mehr gibt, aber es reicht eigentlich auch 1 Stunde lang aufgenommen. Wir sehen uns dann das nächste Mal beim nächsten Visual Novel. Auf Wiedersehen, Leute, auf Wiedersehen.